Blind taste tests prove it. Tabasco Salsa Picante wins. The superior Mexican-style hot sauce.
Welcome to Menu Talk, a weekly podcast co-hosted by Restaurant Business and Nation's Restaurant News. I'm Pat Kobe, Senior Menu Editor of Restaurant Business, and my guest this week is Tana Davila, CEM of Dutch Bros. I'm excited to talk to Tana as Dutch Bros is a leading beverage trendsetter in a category that is growing more competitive all the time. Dutch Bros takes an innovative approach to beverages, focusing on cold coffee, energy drinks, customization, and seasonal specials. Tana highlights these menu items, but she also delves into the chain's unique culture and service style that sets it apart from the pack. It also sounds like they have a lot of fun over there. We also hear a bit about what's next for Dutch Bros as the concept grows eastward from its West Coast roots. Food is becoming more of a focus, and there's a CPG line hitting retail stores soon. Listen as Tana talks about Dutch Bros' food and beverage innovation, culture, and community connection, and how the brand stays ahead of the competition. Hi there, I'm here with Tana Davila of Dutch Bros. Welcome, Tana.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining me. Well, let's start by talking about how Dutch Bros is differentiating its beverage menu as the category gets more crowded and competitive, because we know how busy the beverage segment is right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like Dutch Bros, we've always led from an innovation standpoint. We really very much have been known as a leader in flavor-forward coffee for a long time. And then really the creator of made-to-order energy. And so I think it's very central to the brand and our DNA of what we do. I would also say, I think we're very much at the center right now of trends within the industry. So obviously this movement within our space towards cold beverages, and then also this continued evolution of customization as something that's, high on the list of what the customer today values. I also would share that I think, from an innovation standpoint, we're very focused on making sure we're delivering innovation across our three core product categories. Coffee obviously is a big piece of our business. Energy drinks is also a very large portion of our business, and then refreshment. So that's really how we think about it, is how do we make sure we're bringing new news and innovation across all of those different pieces. And then also I'd say at the end of the day, though, like our brand is an experience. So it's really about our people and the delivery of our brand. We're very much known for our people first culture and our very friendly service model. And so just making sure that we're always delivering on that need to, make sure that we're making your day a little bit better than maybe when you showed up at our drive-through.
So has cold coffee always been dominant at Dutch Bros? I know, for me, I'm a baby boomer, so I prefer hot coffee, especially in the winter when it's cold out. But I know younger people like to have cold coffee. But has that always been true at Dutch Bros?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely evolved over time, but I would say there was actually a stat I was looking at the other day, but when you look at over the last 5 years from 2016 to 2023, cold coffee spending actually doubled, and that growth outpaced hot coffee by about 5x. So it's definitely a shift that we're seeing within the space. And I think that, we've been kind of at the forefront of ice for a long time. 87% of our beverages are cold. So that means they're either iced or blended. And so I think the market is moving there. And then we play very well, I think, in that space for sure.
Do you use any special kind of ice? I know I'm just throwing that out there, but I'm just curious because ice seems to be a priority now.
Yeah, I mean, not at this point. You never say never, but not at this point.
Right. Well, tell me about your summer mocktail lineup, because I thought that was really interesting that you called them mocktails and you're kind of jumping on that non-alcoholic beverage trend, but also making them refreshing.
Yeah. I mean, so when I was at P.F. Chang's, I led the beverage business. So I would say that I'm very familiar with mixology and just that space. And I certainly use it in, my current role as a source of inspiration. So there was very an intentional connection with mocktails. And so this past summer, we ran really 3 signature drinks. We had a mudslide mocha, we had a strawberry colada, And then we had a Blue Lagoon with strawberry real fruit. So those were the three kind of headlining drinks, really just, focused around that social connectivity and spirit that you feel with summer, being at the pool, in the sun, that kind of an idea, and definitely was influenced by what we see going on within that broader beverage culture, outside of just what we do every day, but just looking broadly at beverage and what's trending and what makes sense for us. And then also just always making sure too, obviously the products are very important, but making sure too that we're delivering on the experience as well, is just central to how we think about how we're showing up as a brand.
And they're all really colorful too. Is color really
Yeah.
important for us?
Yeah, I think color is part of the equation. It's super important. Also I would say, continuing to think through how we evolve sensory, appeal. And so obviously the strawberry real fruit on top of the drink, I think adds just a nice flavor element and textured component to what we're doing. And I think that's part of how we think about the holistic build of a product or a drink.
Are there other like macro trends that are influencing your beverage menu? Like the whole treat culture or snacking or protein, any of
Yeah.
those things?
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd say the overall coffee market is growing. However, energy is actually growing at a faster clip. So that has, positive ramifications for our business. Customized energy is about 25% of our business today. And so we just see ourselves as very well positioned as that market continues to move. I do think that you see a movement towards more functional benefits in beverage. So we introduced protein coffee almost 2 years ago, back in January of 2024. Really, that was inspired by, what I was seeing at the grocery store around, protein shakes and how that was evolving within beverage. And so we were really one of the first to bring that into the coffee space with our protein coffee. And I think you'll see that trend continue as consumers are gravitating towards beverages that have some sort of functional benefits. We definitely see that as something that we're watching as it evolves. I also think there's very much this, snacking treat-like occasion that tends to, over-index with Gen Z. And so I think that as we think about that, our business is well positioned for that, just because we do obviously have a pretty large energy drink business that tends to sort of skew in that afternoon day part. We have a, refreshments piece of what we offer as well. And so I think that, we are obviously coffee as well, but we sell other things than that. And so as we think about how the business presents, there's definitely opportunity for us to continue to drive that treat-like, afternoon occasion. And so it's something that we also think about as we think about, new product innovation.
And you are launching new we're kind of like rolling into the holiday season now. So tell me about some of your holiday beverages that you're launching.
Yeah, so we actually have some returning favorites from last year. We have a hazelnut truffle mocha and then a candy cane mocha. And so these have been kind of long-standing Dutch faves that come back seasonally. They do well, and our customers really wait for them. So it's exciting. And then we have a couple new drinks as well this year. So we have a mistletoe Rebel, Rebel is our proprietary energy drink. You can get it iced or blended. And this specific drink is raspberry and pomegranate. And then it has a glitter glaze on top, which is really fun. It feels very festive. And then we also have a holiday cookie as well this year. You can get it in a freeze format, which is our blended coffee, or a latte if that's what you want. And that's basically vanilla and sweet cream mixed with jingle sprinkles, so our sprinkles. And so that's a new one this year as well. And then every year we also try to wrap our shops in Holiday Fest. So you'll see the colors, on the menu boards. And then we also have holiday cups that are seasonally themed as well, which is really fun. It's a fun activity for our creative team to design those every year.
Yeah, it seems like holiday cups are really huge this year. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of your competitors are bringing them out as well.
Yes, here. And I have one right here. I've been drinking my protein latte this morning.
How cute.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
fun.
that. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that at the Future of Beverage conference a little bit at the end about how cups are becoming as important almost as what's in them, because
Yeah.
people look forward to getting the
It's a
cups.
fashion thing, right? What are you
Yeah,
holding? What does it look like?
right. Exactly. And you also are expanding on your food menu. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. It's funny. What started as honestly like a small test just to sort of see what that looked like has become a larger initiative for us. So we are in the process of rolling our food program out. And really the goal of the food program itself is actually to drive an incremental beverage occasion. We believe that we can generate incrementality in the morning and really drive frequency. And so we're focused on really capturing the occasions for that guest that would come to us, but frankly, up until now, really wouldn't because they want to stop for their morning coffee and breakfast. And so we just didn't have that as part of the offering. And so this is an attempt to address that opportunity. Our brand has really high emotional loyalty. And so our opportunity is how do we remove these structural barriers to visitation that can help us drive more frequency? And so that's what we're focused on. And I would say, we really want to continue to always be a beverage first concept. So the food program really just needs to complement what we're doing from a drink standpoint. And it needs to be as minimally complex as possible. So we've been very focused on a very lean assortment of items on the food side that are not operationally complex, that, we look at like the preparation time and are trying to make sure that, it's really less than a drink. And then we've also been using Broista satisfaction as another metric of success. So just making sure that our team member is very engaged in what we're offering and excited about it because they're our best. They're going to serve this. And if they're excited, we know our customers will be excited.
Well, can you talk about some of the specific items that you're testing?
Sure. Yeah. So we have breakfast sliders. So a sausage and then a bacon one. We have a chorizo breakfast wrap. That's really good. We have a maple waffle. So those are on the hot side. And then we have an updated bakery assortment as well. So we have a blueberry muffin. We have a chocolate chip muffin top, coffee cake. So yeah, it's exciting. We're really excited. It's not a huge assortment, but we're excited about what we've seen so far in the test, obviously.
Well, I mean, since you're a drive-through, you don't want people to like sit there and ponder about what they're going to get. So I guess it's better to have a number of things to choose from.
Yeah, it's a simple assortment for sure.
Yeah. No, it sounds really good. And are you doing any cooking at the locations where it's being tested?
Yeah, I mean, we are warming the food, right? So we have turbo chefs because we feel that part of the opportunity is really just on having hot food. Yeah,
Right.
that's important to the breakfast day part. But then also we have the bakery program, which, can be warmed if you want. We actually let the customer choose. Would you like it warmed? Yes or no on that for those products. And so it's really at their discretion if people want that or not.
Well, tell me a little bit about how your service style differentiates Dutch Bros, because I know that's really important to the concept.
Yeah, I mean, I think about our brand is all about positive energy. We do it in a couple different ways. So obviously we are selling energy-based drinks, whether that's coffee or energy. But also it's really around how then we show up as a brand. And so we're really focused on not only, making sure we're delivering energy in our interactions with our customers, but there is an authenticity to our brand and this, genuine sense of, I think, belonging that's really important to how we think about how we want to engage with our guests. Our co-founder Trav, I just love this quote, and I think it just shows kind of what is the core of our culture here. But he would tell you that we're actually not in the beverage business, we're in the relationship business, and the product is love. And I think if you think about that, I think that's very powerful of how we think about what we do every day. And I think that our goal is to just make sure that customers leave a little happier than when they showed up. That's really our role in their lives. And so just making sure we're constantly delivering that. And I think that our people and the culture has become really a differentiator. It's hard to do that at scale. And I think that it has become really a competitive advantage as we've moved forward and really grown the brand from a footprint standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it's unusual in a drive-through also to have that level of hospitality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have been to a Dutch Bros when I was in Arizona once, and I just remember them coming to the car and really interacting with us.
Yes. It's very friendly.
So since you are a marketing person, how are you differentiating your marketing strategy? Or maybe tell us a little bit about what the marketing strategy is to get these drinks and food items out to, your customers.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say in general, our marketing strategy is just very focused on driving transaction growth. So we're really focused on that as our core metric. And it's really been done through what I would call a 3-part approach. So The first piece has been really around leaning into product innovation and thinking about how do we build categories and how do we think about that. And also, just increasing the cadence of what we're delivering on that front. The second piece has been around leveraging paid advertising, particularly in new markets, to build brand awareness. As we enter some of these states that are on the East Coast, people are just not as familiar with the brand. And so there's just an opportunity to educate around what Dutch Bros is all about. And so that's been a very powerful lever of what we've done to date. And then I would say the third piece is around our Dutch Rewards program. It is also a very powerful lever. 72% of our transactions go through our program. It's something we're proud of. And so we've built that kind of one-to-one connection with our guests. And that provides a lot of opportunity for us to continue to personalize the experience in that way digitally, obviously.
So which states are you moving into in the Midwest and East?
I don't know if I can share specifics. We are, continuing to expand our footprint and certainly aspire to be national, at some point. So I'm just excited to just continue to grow the brand and honestly introduce more guests to it.
How many states are you in currently?
2024.
So that's almost half the country.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Well, that's great. And how about social media? Do you have a lot of your customers help you boost the beverages and the food items on social media? You get a lot of action there.
Yeah, it's certainly an important part of how we think about marketing. I would share that, obviously we do really well with the Gen Z consumer. So there's kind of a natural aspect to this brand, which it's very social media forward. We also, really try to continue to, curate the content we're putting out and just making sure it feels very authentic and real. We do collaborations. We just finished one with Lonely Ghost, which is a clothing brand that was really fun and very well received. We really try to find those kind of emerging brands if we're going to partner with another one to make sure it just feels fun and youthful. We also do, merch drops. So we're kind of known for signature events where we will give away with a drink purchase something small. It's kind of a surprise and delight. Although honestly, I feel like at this point it's a known thing. People get really excited and we have long lines for some of them. So we have one coming up actually this week, our Passenger Princess Day, and we're doing a drop for that. So that's kind of an aspect to the brand as well that I think is kind of unique to Dutch. I haven't seen that in, other brands that I've led. And then I would also say, Bros, we've always been very connected to the community. And so that's a very important aspect as well. We're known for our local give backs. And so we do that really with all of the communities in which we operate. And then just very focused too on how do we continue to invest at a, local level from a marketing standpoint, whether it's in high schools, colleges, those types of activities, really where our guests are.
Do you get Gen Alphas in there too?
We do, Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
So can you talk a little bit about what's next without giving away any secrets as far as the menu goes? Are you looking towards the winter, spring?
Yeah, I would say at this point, we're definitely on a pretty traditional QSR menu window innovation cadence that is generally working for us. So definitely expect to see some new news coming next year as well. Honestly, though, probably one of the most exciting things is we're really ramping up for our CPG launch. So we are bringing the brand into grocery. So it's really a way for us to allow a different occasion, so customers to experience the brand in a different use case or a different way. And we are really doing it too because we know it will build brand awareness. And as I mentioned, there are markets where people are not as familiar with our brand, and so this is an opportunity for us to be, in grocery stores across the country and to build our product that way. And then the other really exciting piece about the CPG launch is we're actually going to be donating a portion of the proceeds to the Dutch Bros Foundation. And so then what that allows us to do is to really just invest back in a lot of the communities that we serve and also build compelling futures for our team members. And so it's really exciting. We're gearing up for it. We've been spending a lot of time working on it and excited to sort of see it roll out early next year.
So what format will these products take? Are they going to be ready to drink or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Across kind of the coffee categories that you would expect, pods, ready to drink. We also will have a creamer line. So we're excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can get into dirty sodas maybe with creamers. Are there any specific flavors you're looking at or ingredients that you think might be trending next year?
Gosh, I feel like I'm always looking at that. It just continues to evolve. I will say I think there is this flavor globalization aspect that continues to evolve with consumers. So it's just something I'm looking at. Obviously, we've done some things with like Hispanic inspired flavor profiles that really have, done well for us. Obviously, like matcha is very trendy with like the Gen Z crowd. So I think there's just a lot of evolution in that front of kind of what's trending and emerging as something that's interesting. So I'm just constantly trying to keep a pulse on what's going on.
Blind taste tests prove it. Tabasco salsa picante wins. The superior Mexican-style hot sauce.